Please rise for the Mount Pleasant High School class of 2018 and remain standing until the color guard leaves the stage.
remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Mount Pleasant High School Junior ROTC Cadet Lieutenant Colonel John Bowman, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Caleb Burris, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Anna Marathu, and Cadet Major Sammy Fellows.
Wait a minute, where's her gown?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Good evening. My name is Chris Louder, Superintendent of Cabarrus County Schools, and on behalf of the Cabarrus County Board of Education and the Cabarrus County Schools Administration, I would like to welcome you to today's graduation ceremony as we celebrate and recognize the class of 2018. Every year around this time, I start thinking about graduation and how important it is. Graduating from a public high school is something that the vast majority of Americans experience and something we all share, and one of the reasons that it's such a special achievement. Because it's so special, I always try to think about what I want to say to all of you graduates and what I want you to take away from this day of your success. As I contemplated the message, it became crystal clear what the message should be. Do not be afraid of failure. Let me explain what I mean. Failure can be awesome. Failure is often underrated, and sometimes losing is one of the best things that can happen to you. If you look at many important people in history, the list is filled with people that failed and lost. Abraham Lincoln went to war a captain and returned a demoted private. He failed at business, suffered a nervous breakdown, and lost at least 5 elections. He was in many ways a failure. He also led our nation through its greatest crisis and made the emancipation of slaves the official policy of the U.S. government. He may not have been able to do these important things if he wouldn't have failed at first. Oprah Winfrey desperately wanted to be on television and become a TV anchor. She was demoted from her job as the anchor in Baltimore, and the producer told her she was unfit for television news. He said she got too invested in her stories and demoted her to a much lower daytime show. She failed. That show became a hit, and she used the investment in people and stories to create an empire and become the undisputed queen of television and worth about $3 billion. Steve Jobs fired from the company that he helped create. Walt Disney fired as an animator and told he lacked imagination and he had no good ideas. Steven Spielberg rejected 3 times from film school. J.K. Rowling rejected by 12 major publishers, and the list goes on and on. What is important about all of these stories is that these people didn't quit. They failed and learned and kept working towards what they wanted. It's not just work where failure is important. It's in many other aspects of life. Alfred Lord Tennyson said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." I think what he meant was it was better to put your heart out there and lose than it is to sit on the sidelines and never tell a person how you feel or never know what it means to love or to be loved. So don't be afraid to put yourself on the line and have your heart broken in two. Having your heart broken the first time may make you more mature and prepared for love the next time. In my own life, even though I didn't know it at first, failure has helped me. I did okay in school and made mostly A's and B's, and then I hit geometry. I found it really difficult and pretty quickly got lost. I remember the first time the teacher passed out the test and I had no idea how to work any of the problems. I remember looking around the room and seeing everyone else start working. It was like the room was shrinking, and I realized and thought, I'm the biggest failure in the room. I can't do any of this. And to some degree, I never recovered from that day in math. I lost my confidence and struggled with math every other time I had to take it. Later, when I was trying to decide what I was going to do with my life, I kept getting drawn back to teaching and a need to try to explain things and connect with other people and hopefully make them not feel like the failure in the room. I became an English teacher, not a math teacher. I loved all the time that I spent as a teacher, and I would tell you that the most important thing that helped me as an educator was knowing what it was like to be in that geometry classroom. Knowing what it was like to start sweating because I didn't know or understand was the most important skill that I had as a teacher, because I could help other students that didn't understand. I'm thankful for struggling in geometry because I believe the struggle in geometry made me a much better teacher. Pat Conroy, author of The Prince of Tides and the Lords of Discipline, wrote a lesser-known book called My Losing Season. It is one of my favorite books. Mr. Conroy was a senior on the basketball team for the Citadel in 1966 and 67. The team finished 8-17. In other words, they were a losing team. My losing season is about all the things he learned about himself and life during that year. He said, many of my teammates wish that year never happened. I consider it one of the great years of my life, if not the greatest. If I could change history, if I could change everything that happened that year, if I could bring us a national championship, I wouldn't do it. We live in a world where everyone and everything tells you that you must always win, 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 win at all costs. Mr. Conroy offers a different take. He says winning makes you think you'll always get the girl, land the job, deposit the $1 million check, win the promotion, and you grow accustomed to a life of answered prayers. Loss is a fiercer, more compromising teacher, cold-hearted but clear-eyed in its understanding that life is more dilemma than game and more trial than free pass. My acquaintance with loss has sustained me during the stormy passages of my life. And though I learned some things from the game that we won that year, I learned much, much more from loss. And so to the class of 2018, we say congratulations. As you go out into the world, know that failure is a part of everyone's story. You have nothing to fear. Your experience and your family and your teachers and your community have prepared you to live a great life. Even though there will be difficulties, your ability to fail and keep fighting is what will determine your destiny. My wish for you is very simple. It is that you try your best and you learn how to fail, because failure is how every major success story begins.
Good evening. My name is Madison Barrier. Over the past school year, I've had the honor of serving as student body president. I'd like to welcome and thank everyone for joining us this evening. Dr. Louder, Mr. LaChance, Mr. Sullivan, Ms. Keyes, faculty, friends, family, and most importantly, the class of 2018. Today, we celebrate our educational journey as we prepare to take the next steps in our lives. For most of us, our friendship started in 2005 as we entered kindergarten at Mount Pleasant, A.T. Allen, or Irvin Elementary. Kindergarten was a simpler time when things were less complicated, a place where I learned everything I needed to know. Kindergarten was a time filled with new experiences and lessons to show us what the next 12 years of our lives would hold. We were mainly worried about time with our new friends, not dropping our trays at lunch, and perhaps most importantly, recess. For most of us, we enjoyed learning to read or to color within the lines, or perhaps solve basic math problems, but kindergarten was about much more than that. Little did we realize, kindergarten was the time to learn the basic life lessons that we should reflect on through our journeys, wherever that might be. Before we walk across the stage and throw our caps in the air, I want to leave you with 12 life lessons that we learned in kindergarten. Number 1, sharing is caring. Sharing your brand new box of crayons is not the easiest skill to learn, but once you do, everyone's life is a little more colorful. Number 2, make new friends. When you extend a hand to someone, a friend for life can be made, a friendship that will impact your life forever. As we venture to new places, I urge everyone to be a friend, to make new friends, but never forget your hometown friends in Mount Pleasant. Number 3, nap time is the best time. Take a nap whenever possible. As children, we didn't understand the difference that a nap could make, but there is no better way to rejuvenate your mind than a quick rest. Number 4, be creative and use your imagination. Creativity is key to not living in a dull world. Adults can use their imagination too. Always remember that with a little imagination, anything is possible. Number 5, the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Apply this rule to every aspect of your life to set an example for anyone who may be watching. Number 6, take a break and have fun. Every day we looked forward to recess and which piece of playground equipment we would play on that day. As we grow up and make major life decisions, remember to set aside time to have some fun. Number 7, take a deep breath and count to 3. When getting angry or frustrated, we were given the advice to stop, count to 3, then try again. When life becomes stressful or you are feeling down, take a deep breath, count 1, 2, 3, and gain a new perspective. Number 8, be kind to others. You may never know when a smile, a gesture, or a small token of kindness will change someone's day. Number 9, we are all equal. When we were in kindergarten, there was no separation between cliques. We saw no skin color, no difference in athletic ability, no difference in our level of intelligence or social classes. All we knew was that we were surrounded by our new friends. We should remember not to look at the outward appearances of others, but instead it's what's on the inside that truly counts. Number 10, wait your turn in line. We cannot all be the line leader every time, but if we wait patiently and humbly, eventually we will all get our turn at the head of the line. Number 11, always say please and thank you. Manners are the most important quality to display. A simple please and thank you, yes sir or no ma'am will go a long way to make a good impression. And last but not least, know when to use your quiet stick. No talking in the hallway, put your quiet stick up. As kindergartners, we had to learn the appropriate times to talk, as well as the times to remain quiet. As young adults entering the next phase of life, we must also remember that there is a place and time to talk, to share our thoughts and opinions, but there will also be a time that we must remain quiet and listen instead. Congratulations, class of 2018. We made it to our graduation day. as we go our separate ways into the military, to join the workforce, or to attend college or university, remember to keep a childlike outlook on life and recall the life lessons that were instilled in our tiny hearts and minds so many years ago, the ones we learned in kindergarten. Thank you. Good evening, parents and Tiger family. For the last 4 years of our lives, there have been many guarantees. It has been guaranteed that when the bell rings at the start of first period, you should be prepared to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. After hearing what today's lunch choices are, it is guaranteed that you will be advised to have a great day in Tigerland. On the mornings when you're running late, it has been guaranteed that at least you won't have to worry about slowing down for that one defective speed bump. 4 classes a day, 25 minutes for lunch, and which section of the stadium you can be found in at Friday night football games. All of these things guaranteed. From the minute you are handed that diploma and you toss your cap into the air tonight, there are no more guarantees. The people you spend your time with, what you plan to do, where you plan to go, and who you plan to be are all susceptible to change. There are, however, 2 things that I can promise you. The first is that nothing in this next phase of your life is going to be easy. The future you have envisioned for yourself is one full of change and unpredictability. While it may be scary to know that things will not be easy, the second thing I can promise you is that nothing in life that is truly worth doing ever is. So my question to all of you tonight is this: what to you is truly worth it? Is it chasing after the career you've dreamed of since you were 5 years old? Is it moving halfway around the world to make a difference in another country? Is it raising and supporting your own family right here in Mount Pleasant so that one day you might see your own child walk across this very stage? Once you decide what it is that's worth it to you, I encourage you to go after it with everything you have in you. Do not allow any person to make you believe you can't reach your goals. Find a way to overcome any obstacle that stands in your way. Don't give up, don't quit until you see your fantasies become your reality. If you dedicate yourself to achieving whatever it is you have deemed worthy, you may discover new personal strengths you never knew you possessed and open up opportunities for a life you never thought possible. Above all, though, remember to enjoy every moment along the way and revel in the unknown. After all, as famous author Nicholas Sparks once wrote, it is the possibility that keeps us going, not the guarantee. Congratulations, class of 2018. We did it. Thank you for your time. At this time, please welcome senior Ricky Carballo to the stage. Ricky has been awarded the title of #1 horn player in the state of North Carolina and has been accepted into the United States Marine Corps School of Music.
Fellow classmates, Today, I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane that has truly transformed us into the people we are today. Think back with me to second grade, a time where tattletaling and trying to make friends was all we worried about. But most importantly, this second grade year is where we learned about a simple but transformative process called the butterfly cycle. As I reflect on the life cycle of a butterfly, I think about how much it truly represents our lives these past 4 years in high school spent together. The cycle begins with an egg. The egg of the caterpillar is very tiny and tends to attach onto things. Entering into freshman year, I would definitely compare ourselves to the egg, shy, timid, and unsure of ourselves. We would tend to attach onto things that we felt comfortable with, whether that be our old friend groups or joining the same old clubs and sports we always have. Over the span of our freshman year, and as we grew more familiar with the high school atmosphere, we became more comfortable with each other and ourselves. We learned how to open up. The next phase in the butterfly cycle is the caterpillar. During this stage, the caterpillar really spends its time growing. During our sophomore year, we grew tremendously. We moved away from the awkward freshman stage and learned to mature and develop not only in the classroom setting, but also as individuals. We learned that it was vital to do well in our classes, but also important to prosper outside of these four walls we call our high school. In essence, we learned how to be confident in ourselves. The formation of the chrysalis is next, and this truly is one of the most important phases where all of the transforming and progressing occurs. Over the course of our junior year, our timid personalities began to fade away as we became upperclassmen. We truly transfigured and became bold. We realized that we had more to offer to the school and began to change and show that. We played varsity sports, tried out for the musical, took harder classes, and signed up for the SAT. We were going above and beyond to show that we were growing and were no longer unassured of ourselves. We learned how to thrive. Lastly, the butterfly is finally formed and broken free of its shell. The brand new butterfly is known for being bright and colorful, mobile, and moving on to bigger and better things. We did it. We made it to senior year, finally. On that first day of school, we strutted around in our gold crowns and showed everyone that we had made it and that we were going to be moving on to greater things. As our senior year came to a close, we reflected back on how much we have truly opened up these last 4 years and how much our time here at Mount Pleasant High School has changed us. We were taught to push ourselves to improve, accomplish our goals, inspire others, and meet our full potential. We were allowed to soar free, with some guidance, of course, and above all else, the greatest thing that was engraved in us, we learned how to fly. So, class of 2018, whatever your next path in life may be, I encourage you to remember these simple lessons we learned from the butterfly cycle: to open up, to be confident in ourselves, to thrive, and to fly. And last but not least, go out there, continue your cycle, and spread your wings. Thank you.
Well, we did it. Congratulations to the class of 2018. 4 years and 8 semesters ago, we started our final chapter of school at Mount Pleasant High School. Let's take a minute to look back at the journey we have traveled. Most of us attended elementary school at Mount Pleasant Elementary. There were the few that went to Urban Elementary and A.T. Allen Elementary, but eventually, everyone ended up at Mount Pleasant Middle School. And I'm not talking about the shiny new one just down the road. Our Tiger Pride grew in the hall and the quad of the old school. Despite where we started, all these places led us here, to Mount Pleasant High School. If you imagine yourself on the first day of kindergarten, would you have seen yourself as you are today? We had no idea what the future held for us. But as we grew older and matured, everything seemed to fall into place. Regardless of where you started, you should never forget where you came from, because it's what's made you who you are today. None of us knew that our 4 years would be over so fast. We all wish we had one more game to play. What would you do to experience Friday Night Lights just one more time? Whether you were playing on the field, marching at halftime, cheering on the sidelines, or supporting your Tigers in the student section, you were all creating memories that you will cherish forever. We were all warned that we would have to enjoy high school because it would be the best times of our lives. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I do know that our pasts are forever connected. The memories we have made are lasting. The friendships and relationships we have formed will continue to grow and remain strong. We will always have each other as the class of 2018. As you graduate high school, it is important to remember several things. Strive to have an impact on everything that you do. Every one of us has the opportunity to achieve greatness. It is within our reach. Don't be afraid to speak up and show your voice. Think about the impact that you had in high school. Whether it was something big or something small, every one of you made a difference. Continue to make the difference as you move into the next chapter of your life. The famous poet, Maya Angelou, once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Graduating from Mount Pleasant High School isn't a goodbye, but simply a new chapter. We all have to face the universal truth that everything good must come to an end. The end of high school is only the opportunity for a new beginning. Many of you may not know what you're going to do with this new beginning. Many of us already know what direction we are headed. Whether you plan on attending college, seeking employment, or joining the military, I wish you luck in all that you do. Whatever path you choose, I hope you are happy and successful in this next chapter. As much as I've looked forward to this day, I, for one, hate endings. The last day of summer, the last chapter of a book, the last seconds of a game, the final episode of the Netflix series, and the end of high school. As we leave here today to begin our new journey, know that we will always be together as the class of 2018.
Good evening and welcome. I would first like to take the time to share with you just how proud I am of you, Mount Pleasant High School class of 2018. Your strong leadership has set a positive and creative atmosphere for all students who will follow you at Mount Pleasant High School. You have been instrumental in creating the true Tiger family that we all know and love. Students, your hard work and dedication has been instrumental to your success. Keep working hard at everything that you do. This class of 2018 is a special one for me. You are the first group to matriculate through Mount Pleasant High School when I was the principal of that school. I just wanted to thank all of you for making my job enjoyable every day. Every day I was greeted with smiling faces and great attitudes. Young men and women like yourselves are the reason I chose to move my family to Mount Pleasant, and you are the main reason why Mount Pleasant is the best school and the best community in Cabarrus County. What still amazes me after 9 years working at Mount Pleasant High School is how much we all care about one another and the things that you are all willing to do to make Mount Pleasant the best school in Cabarrus County. For every person that comes through our doors, your acts of kindness for one another will never be forgotten. Graduates, before you leave and embark on your lives, I have some parting advice to share with you. As you move on to college, a job, or whatever your life takes you, please remember this: your time on this planet is limited, so don't waste time living someone else's life. Be yourself. You take action. Every story you have ever connected with, every person you have ever admired, everything you do, and everything you have ever accomplished is a result of you taking action. You have a choice. You can either be a passive victim or you can be the active hero in your own life. Believe in yourself. That is the key, making sure that you believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is part of what got you to this special day. Continue to believe in yourselves. Don't let anyone put limits on you or what you can accomplish. Don't put limits on yourself. Know that you can work hard to get a job that you want. Know that if you want to, you can provide for yourselves and your family. Know that you can and you will make this world a better place. It has truly been my honor to have been your principal for the last 4 years. At this time, Dr. Lauder, parents, family, and special guests, it is my pleasure to present the following candidates for graduation from Mount Pleasant High School. Junior marshals, Will you please take your positions?
Allison Nicole Adkins. Shyla Rayhan Ehlers. Eric Brandon Allen. Taylor Nicole Allman. Emmy Lizette Arguello Rodriguez, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Brooklyn Alicia Arrowood. Jackson Reeve Ashenbrenner, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Hannah Julia Ashworth. Hannah Rachel Atkinson, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Hannon K. Francis Austin, cum laude. Stephen Michael Ballas. Allison Faith Barbie, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Emma McClay Barbie. Dustin Michael Barnhart, cum laude. Hannah Marie Barnhart. Martin David Barnhart III, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Madison Ansley Barrier, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Isaac Matthew Barton, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Kendall Madison Bass, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Grayson Darnell Beaver. Jessica Elaine Bay, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Megan Renee Blackburn, magna cum laude. Jacob Allen Blackwelder. Paige Alexis Blackwelder, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jacob Allen Blake. Brianna Wynn Bodford. Noah Atlas Boger. Tucker Lane Bost, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Walter Wynn Bost. John Norman Bowman, North Carolina Scholar. Aiden Christopher Broadway, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Emily Lauren Burleson. Michaela Lauren Burris, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Mackenzie Jean Burris. Caitlin Brooke Burton. Bailey Reed Bushy. Shy Anna Kane. Jonathan Randall Camp. Ricky Carballo Jr. Michaela May Caudill, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Sydney Marie Chappick, cum laude. Zachary Mark Childress. Destiny Grace Dawn Klein. Evan Christopher Hoya, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Skylar Brianna Cole, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jonathan Steele Corbett. Sydney Caroline Kreider, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Matthew Dylan Cully. Bryce Griffin Curry, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Nicholas Robert D. Capel. Haven Nicole Deese. Micah Lee Delcom. Evan Connor DeVito, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Joshua Andrew Downey, cum laude. Carolyn Pearson Dry, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Matthew Bailey Dry. Rebecca Elizabeth Dyer, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Zachary Taylor Irvin. Jasmine Monet Evans. Samantha Jade Fellows, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jada Lael Fernald. Jackson Neil Fowler, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Justin Michael Fox. Eli Nolan Gilmore. Tanner Brian Gilmore. Amber Nicole Glenn, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Kenneth Franklin Good IV, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Samuel Granillo Romero, cum laude. Sydney Jane Gray, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Austin Hunter Green. Emma Marie Green, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jacob Taylor Green. Alicia Aaron Hall, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Daniel Lewis Hall. Veronica Marie Hanawi. Alexis Danielle Harkey. Evan Jonathan Harkey, cum laude. Audrey Lauren Harmon. Grant Chadwick Harris, cum laude. Haley Brianne Harrison. Caitlin Elizabeth Harwood, cum laude. Joshua Darrell Hatley. Randall Cole Hawkins. Allison Rebecca Haywood. Frankie Alice Helmenthaler, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Edgar Eduardo Hernandez. Meredith Ashley Hernan. Melody Jean Herring. Brendan Daniel Hill, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Selena Michelle Honeycutt. Elizabeth Louise Hopkins. Tyler Jason Hughes, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Alexis Paige Hull. Grayson Scott Honeycutt, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Haley Marie Hunsucker, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Kayla Nicole Irvin, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Nathaniel Lee Eisenhower. Gavin Taylor Jackson. Allison Dawn Johnson. Mark William Keedeman, Jr. Daniel Joseph Kennedy, Jr. Madeline Elizabeth Kindley, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Zoe Elizabeth Kindley, cum laude. Tyler Scott Klutz, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jenna Denise LaForce, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Casey Corinne Lambert, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Alyssa Marie Langston. Arthur Joseph Levance III. Caitlin Virginia Lee, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Kathy Lee, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jessica Ann Lentz, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Hannah Lee Leidecker. Shelby Marie Locklear. Dalton Trey Love. Macy Elizabeth Love, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Matthew Cole Lumley. Aaliyah Nicole Likens, cum laude. Nancy Maris Escorza. Che Dylan Martin. Leticia Massini. Robert Logan Malden, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Caitlin Ann Maxwell. Walker Franklin McAnulty. Bryson Cole McCarty. Warren Javon McClure, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Cameron Faith McCraw, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Katie Lee McDaniel, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. London Faith McDaniel, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Tyson William McDowell, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jacob Edward McElwain, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Moises Mejia Lopez. Veronica Jennifer Melendez Oldwin. David Gustavo Mendez. Elijah Benjamin Mendez. Annabelle May Merrithew. Madeline Lee Fox. Madison Rihanna Miller, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Mary Tamara Andrea Miller, cum laude. Brittany Dawn Montgomery. Carlos Fernando Montoya Hernandez. Walter Sunday Moose, cum laude. Samuel Layton Morris, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Megan Lane Morton. Stone Robert Morton. Tiffany Ashlyn Norris. Kendall Elizabeth Osborne, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Alexander Grayson Overbay, cum laude. Katrina Renee Owens. Deanna Jean Page. John Richard Clayton Page, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Emily Elizabeth Palermo, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Landon Christopher Parker, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Madeline Sue Parker. Kelsey Marie Payne. Allison Kimberly Peck. Kayla Rose Peterson, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Christian Alexander Pethel. Amber Lynn Phillips. Brendan Mitchell Phillips. Jesse Owen Pruitt, cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Ashley Nicole Queen, cum laude. Bradley Buckner Radford. Hayden Lee Radford, cum laude. Victoria Chelsea Ramkassoon, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Joshua David Rebholz. Hunter Gage Redmond, cum laude. Austin Lee Reese. Nakia Nakeem Reed Gill. Kiana Vanier Robinson. Chase Tyler Rogers. Alexis Elizabeth Romero. Gianna Marie Romero. Sean Clark Rowland. Caitlin Elizabeth Rushoff, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Chandler Dwayne Simone. Cody Reese Sharp. Devin Christian Shelton, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Aaron Mackenzie Shepard, cum laude. Zane Thomas Shira. Gary Lane Shirley, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Nathan Levi Shirley, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Chance Taylor Silcox. Kayla Ann Sloop. George Bennon Smith. Lexi Morgan Smith, cum laude. Tori Marie Smith. Cameron Riley Solomon, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Amber Lee Sossaman. Richard Allen Soule. Parker Chase Strackengast. Jonathan Gabriel Stansel. Savannah Marie Stansel, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jared Haven Stegall. Stephen Carl Storm, Jr. Cody Lee Strickland. Rebecca Abigail Stuck. Jackson Dakota Suggs. Cody Dwayne Thomas, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Avery Christine Valentine, cum laude. Aaron Dakota Vaughn. Christopher Stelios Vorvalidis, magna cum laude. Nolan James Wagner, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jesse Austin Wagster. Alex Cordell Waller. Samuel Grayson Webb, summa cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Jonathan Michael Weedman. Jessica Lynn Westfall. Ashley Grace Whitener. Mazden John David Wilson. Laura Mae Wise. Samantha Alex Wolcheski, magna cum laude, North Carolina Scholar. Taylor Marie Woods. Jacob Andrew Woodward. Court Gabriel Woodward. Jordan Danielle Young.
All right, will the class of 2018 please stand? In the presence of these witnesses and by the power vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Cabarrus County Board of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of Mount Pleasant High School. You may now move your tassels.